This episode is for you if you are a social media newbie or a veteran, but posting isn't going as planned and you feel like you're doing the post and pray method. This chat is for you if you are not posting consistently, if you're overwhelmed by social media or a little bit burned out. I've been there. If you don't have a social media strategy at all yet, if you haven't started posting your artwork on social yet, then you need a simple but proven strategy because the more complex your strategy is, the less likely you are to actually stick with it. Think KISS. Keep it simple, sweetheart. I'm going to give you a strategy today that you can stick to, be consistent, because that is the name of the game and how you're going to take action and get your art business where you want it to go. I'm going to share the best social media platforms artists should be on, where to post, what to post, when to post, how often to post, and the hashtags you should be using. If you already have a social media strategy, but it's not converting to art sales, I'm going to share the number one thing you should change about your strategy. And at the end of this episode, I am going to hook you up with the next step to get you results fast because your time is too precious to waste. Before we get into today's show, I just wanted to say thank you so much for the reviews and the comments you've been leaving me. They have been shaking my soul. You know that my mission is to help artists create freedom and abundance in their lives, doing what they absolutely love, and that my secondary mission is to help those who have invisible battles like me. I have chronic migraine, and here on YouTube, I've been talking to some of you about being stroke survivors and having other really difficult illness journeys. And I'm so glad that you reached out and shared your story with me. I had to get over a lot of my own bullshit to be able to show up to give my magic to the universe. But I never thought I'd be able to create a podcast. And when I hear from you and you're telling me that you feel more inspired, that you're taking action in your art business, that you've had a hard journey, but you are doing things to create freedom in your life, and that this show is helping you, it warms my heart, it shakes my soul, and it helps me on my tough days. So thank you so much for sharing. If you listen on Apple Podcasts, thank you for reviewing. You are the energy keeping this alive, and we are together impacting so many people. So let's dive into the show. I'm very excited to share this with you today. Let's get out of social media burnout. Let's get some action going. Let's convert some art sales. Are you ready? I'm ready. So buckle up. This is going to be a very fast, digestible episode that you can listen to on repeat. Let's do this. The goal of social media is quality. So if you're really stressing out about, am I going to have to learn a TikTok dance or sign up for 7 different social media platforms or post 4 times a day, you can tell your heart to stop racing. The goal of social media is quality, and the goal of today is to show you how simplicity can really serve you in your business. We need to be on the same page about one thing before we can move forward. On social, you must have a public profile. There's a couple reasons for this. You, as an artist, to be discovered, you have to be seen to be discovered. So you probably originally set up your social profile to be social with your friends and family. So it probably was set up as a private account. It's really easy to have a public account, and you want to do this because you want to have a public business account because you need to see profile analytics so you can understand how your audience is receiving your content. The social media platform will analyze that for you. It's a beautiful thing. Very easy to do. Go to your profile settings and just flip it on. It should just be a toggle that's on or off. You're going to want to do this on your social platform so that you can add your social media link in your bio. Excuse me, a sip of coffee here from my sparkly mug. I love this thing. Where to post? Choose one, maybe two social media platforms that you can be amazing at. Don't choose all of the socials, only to be spread thin and show up mediocre at best. Hi, friend. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. I like to throw in some surprises for our weekly show. You can also follow the Empowered Artist Podcast on Apple Podcast. And for more resources to move your art business forward, visit jennawebart.com. Now, back to the show. You want to be on the popular platforms that are visual, because after all, we are visual artists selling a visual product. You want to go where your audience is. If you already have a ton of friends and family and they mostly use Facebook, and I'm just doing this for example, then you need to definitely be on Facebook. The platforms I recommend for artists, number one, hands down, is Instagram. I have all of my students on Instagram. I think you should be on Instagram too if you're not already. It's the number one platform for artists. And we are not here today to complain about the algorithm. Social media is free. And I will do a whole nother episode about how to beat or not worry about the algorithm. But social media is part of your business. It's absolutely necessary, and you can get sales directly off social. So back to the platforms I recommend. Instagram, number one. Facebook, TikTok, Pinterest, and YouTube. And remember, you're signing up for one, maybe two socials. So you'll want to pick the platforms that make sense for the products or services that you offer as a business. So if you offer painting courses, it makes sense to be on YouTube because you would be demonstrating what you're offering. But you don't need to have a YouTube account, for example. That requires a whole lot of work and energy if you're simply just posting some pictures and some quick reels of your work. You should just keep it simple and be on Instagram. So it depends on what products and services you're offering and what you're good and comfortable at. You want to show up where you can be amazing. So pick that number one platform and get started there and kick ass there. So what to post? You should think about it in three simple content categories. Those categories are number one, you with your artwork. Number two, your process, your materials, and your studio. Your creative process is going to get the most amazing engagement on your profile because most people have no idea what your creative process looks like. And so when you peel back the curtain and let people in just a little bit, it's so amazing, especially to an art buyer. They want to see the work being made. It shows that it's original, it's hand done by you. This type of content usually gets the best engagement for that reason when you show a little bit behind the scenes. Content category number three would be your artwork advertised for sale. So when should you post? You need to post when your audience is online because that's when they're going to be seeing your posts and engaging with it. The best way to find out is to check analytics. And that brings back my earlier point of having your profile switched on to public so that you do have profile analytics. Now, it takes a while to build data into your account so that you really can understand your audience. So if you're new or you don't know where to start yet, this is what I would do. And it's still a tried and true analytic I use in my business is posting at noon or 6 p.m. These are great starting points because these two times of day are generally when people are taking breaks. How often should I post as an artist? I recommend posting 7 times a week or more, or whatever you can feasibly commit to do consistently. So I think that's a more important part of what I'm saying here. If you heard posting 7 times a week and you're already getting freaked out, that's not the point. It's really picking what you can feasibly commit to, and then you can build up to more. Because the best content schedule is the one that you're actually going to do. Otherwise, you should just forget it altogether. I know alarm bells are probably going off and you're already feeling overwhelmed, but this strategy is really simple. And if you are thinking, oh my God, Jenna, I don't know what to post 7 days a week. Yes, you do. Just rewind because I shared 3 content categories that you can post. Other businesses and content creators aren't as lucky as us. We are naturally content creators because all we have to do is snap a photo of what's going on in the studio. Boom. It's that easy for us as artists. So just keep it simple and get used to snapping a lot of photos in the studio. Document as you go, work with the 3 categories, and voila. So how many hashtags should I use and what hashtags should I use? Let's go hashtag strategy. Now, we are not going to dive into the ever-changing algorithm because we're going to get whiplash. If we tried to give you a strategy on the algorithm, I would have to get online and record a video as often as I brush my hair, and I'd be getting whiplash trying to keep up with algorithms. So, there are some tried and true fundamentals that you can learn about social media that you can always stick to. And like I said, I'll do another algorithm episode later. Hashtags are a way for you to get discovered by people who don't know you yet on social media. So the fundamental thing to do is always to maximize the hashtags that you're allowed to use on the platform so that you increase your chances on being discovered on that platform. So Instagram using between 20 and 30 hashtags on a post. For a reel using between 3 and 5. You can incorporate this by using them as keywords in the caption or actually using them as hashtags either at the end of your post or in the first comment. TikTok, you want to use about 5 hashtags. And Facebook, you don't use hashtags. That's not how Facebook works. So, what hashtags should I use as an artist? I get this question a lot. You want to use hashtags that represent the type of artwork that you create. So, if you create abstract art, you certainly want to use a hashtag that says abstract art. If your art is colorful and vibrant, describe your art in your hashtags and research those hashtags because you want someone who's looking for your kind of art to be able to find it when they're searching those hashtags. And this is where the hashtag size comes into play. What I mean by size is a hashtag that's really broad or it's really small. So using the hashtag art is going to have billions of followers using that hashtag. It's a good one to be very broad, but you're also going to want to use a hashtag that is super unique and niche, if you will, has maybe 1,000 followers. That is very small. So you want to use a variety of narrow and broad hashtags as a rule of thumb. This simple social media strategy has not only worked for me, but it's also worked for hundreds of my Artpreneur Academy students, just like Vivian Massery, who applied this simple strategy to just one of her Instagram posts. And this is the result she got from doing this. 730 interactions, 609 profile visitors, and here's the best part, 121 website visitors. That's the ultimate goal, to drive traffic to your website. Whoop, whoop. That's so incredible. And my student, Jenna Luck, who applied this simple social media strategy in a few ways. She posted photos of herself with her art. She posted her artwork for sale. She used 20 to 30 hashtags on her Instagram post. And she used hashtags that represent her niche. And she paints these beautiful rural landscapes and sky paintings and paintings on the farm. So those are actually the hashtags she used in that post. This resulted in consistent art sales and several customer reviews. She had so many customer reviews that she grouped them into this great highlight on her Instagram profile of her happy paying clients. So I'm so excited for my student, Jenna Luck. It was amazing. You go, girl. Lori Royce, another one of my students, applied the social media strategy. And I love this one because this is what she told me. After her painting didn't sell on LinkedIn, she moved her post over to Instagram and she got a DM right away that the artwork sold. And she said, after not receiving any inquiries to actually buy my painting, I took some of what you taught me. I posted it on Instagram with a reply back immediately that my art sold. Very exciting. Instagram works. My original paintings are not cheap, so the hard work on social media has paid off. It's actually been fun. So if you've been feeling burned out and overwhelmed with social media, you just need to simplify it in your mind and get excited about it again, because my theory in business is it's got to be fun at the end of the day, and we've got to enjoy it. That's what we started our art businesses for in the first place: freedom, enjoyment, passion. All right. If your social media strategy is not converting to sales, here is the number one thing you need to change about your post. Go and review your analytics from the past 90 days. Look at what posts were your absolute top performers. Think to yourself, what were the key elements that were working about those posts? And then double down on that amazing content, babe. Also, what's going to be equally important when you're looking at the analytics from the past 90 days is to look at the lowest performing post. Your audience is telling you something. They're speaking to you without speaking to you, right in the data. These low performing posts, this is the content that's not resonating with your audience. So eliminate doing those anymore. In episode 5, I told you exactly how to have a sales conversation on social media to close the sale. But what you post on social media and put in your caption needs to attract sales so that you can jumpstart those conversations in the first place. To do that, you absolutely need calls to action in your post captions. A call to action tells your art buyer exactly what to do next and guides them to a purchase. Without it, your post is just flapping in the wind with no direction. And that's when people just browse and scroll, and you just get frustrated with social media and want to give up because no one's interacting with your posts. So if you want your social media posts to convert to sales, then you need my 3 phrases to sell your art now lesson. You will get my 3 magic phrases that you can copy and paste and put in your social media caption the very next time you post. And if you have any hesitation in asking someone to buy your art online, you will learn to overcome that. You get instant access to the lesson, and it's only 15 minutes. So that means you can post your next artwork for sale today with one of my strong and proven calls to action. To get the lesson right now, click the link in the show notes. or visit jennawebart.com/art phrases. You are going to love it, and I'll meet you there.